Welcome, Madhurai. Um, Madhurai, you can introduce yourself. You can talk about topic. The floor is all yours. Okay.
Sure, thank you so much. Firstly, I just want to bring up my screen and then I'll get started. Please let me know if you are able to see my screen.
Yes. It is
All
visible.
right. And you're able to hear me and video, everything is okay, right?
Perfect. Everything is fine.
All right. Thank you so much. So let's get started. Hi, everyone. I'm Madhurai. A very warm welcome to this session. I'm a lead consultant, agile coach, and a mentor at a global IT organization. I started my career as a L3 support specialist, and then my journey has taken me through various roles like developer, senior developer, then junior dev team lead, scrum master, senior lead SRE, incident manager, many hats, and now an agile coach. Each and every role that I have been in has been a chapter of growth, learning, and meaningful impact. Over the years, I have had the privilege of working with cross functional agile teams across different geographies, guiding transformations, mentoring young talent, and experimenting with what works in the real world. I am truly excited to be here at Cognition 2025 with all of you. Scrum Masters, leaders, and curious minds to talk about something that is rapidly changing how we work today, which is AI and Agile. So let's dive in together. The topic for today's session is From Insights to Impact: How AI is Shaping Smarter Decisions in Agile Teams. We are at a point where AI is no longer just a futuristic concept or a buzzword. It is already making its way into how agile teams are operating every single day. From retrospectives to sprint planning, from backlog refinement to decision making, AI is beginning to influence not just what we do, but how we do it. And that's what this session is going to be all about. So, for the next 40 minutes, we are going to look at where AI can practically support our agile teams, not in some abstract or hypothetical way, but based on what has actually worked with my teams, my own personal experience. I will also be sharing a real world case study along with tools, techniques, and lessons learned that you can immediately take back to your teams and experiment within your own teams. Whether you are curious about AI or already piloting some tools in your teams, there will be something here for everyone. So let's explore how we can move from insights to real impact together. I love using this metaphor when I talk about AI in Agile. If Agile is the compass, data is the map, and AI is the GPS. Think about it. Agile gives us the direction, the values, the principles to guide how we work. That's our compass. But just a compass alone doesn't help much if you cannot see the terrain. That's where data comes in. It is that map that shows where you have been in the past versus where you are right now. Now let's bring in AI into all of this. And suddenly, it's not just a map, it has become a GPS now. It reads the data, spots the patterns, recalculates in real time, and helps you navigate complexity faster, with ease, and more confidently. And just like a GPS, it doesn't take over the journey. We are the ones who are still on the driving seat. We are the ones who are still driving. But it helps make our path easier, more convenient for us. Let's begin by taking a step back and looking at the journey we are about to embark on together in our session today. Picture this. On one side, we have the world of limited agile insights, a place where decisions are often driven by gut feeling, intuition, or incomplete data. It is slow, reactive, and often frustrating. But across this valley lies something really, really powerful, which we are calling data driven agile. A world where decisions are faster, smarter, and backed by patterns that we weren't able to see before. To get to this point from where we are right now, we need a bridge. And that bridge, my dear audience, is built in stages by integrating relevant data, applying AI to analyze it, and generating insights, ultimately unlocking value at speed. So, are you all ready to go on this wonderful adventure with me? Give me a thumbs up. Moving on. By the end of today's session, you all will walk away with insights on the common decision-making gaps in agile teams, examples of where AI can fit seamlessly in your Scrum ceremonies, a case study, and the solution, then a roadmap for responsible AI adoption into your agile teams. This is the problem space that we are going to work with today. Agile teams have access to a ton of data, but decisions are still often driven by intuition or gut feeling. The challenge is moving from these instinctive, subjective calls to grounded insights. Decisions that are backed by real patterns, data, and clarity. That's where AI can make a real difference. This table on your screen compares intuition-based and data-informed decision-making across key agile activities. Notice how intuition relies solely on memory, assumptions, and manual inputs, like whiteboards and spreadsheets. In contrast, data-informed teams use historical data, real-time dashboards, and AI to forecast, track progress, identify risk early on in the process. It is a shift from reactive to predictive, from subjective to transparent. We are not trying to eliminate human judgment here. We are just augmenting it with the help of AI. You all might be wondering, why bring AI into Agile today? We were still doing Agile and we were successfully delivering. So why AI now into Agile? Because Agile teams are already sitting on a gold mine of sprint data, velocity trends, blocker patterns, feedback loops. It's all there with us in our teams. But without AI, we miss the patterns that lie just beneath the surface. AI enables real-time insights, not weeks later, not during postmortems, but as things unfold. It supports continuous improvement by helping us make evidence-based decisions faster. In short, Agile gives us the rhythm. AI gives us the radar. Let this quote anchor our session. AI does not replace Agile, it amplifies it. AI isn't here to replace us Scrum Masters, Agile coaches, product owners. It is here to strengthen us by revealing patterns, flagging blind spots, and supporting better decision making. So instead of fearing it, we must all embrace it as our powerful ally in our Agile toolkit. Now, when we first introduced AI into our Agile teams, the big question was, where do we start? What worked best was integrating it into the Scrum ceremonies that we already had, like sprint planning, daily, sprint review, retro, and backlog grooming or product backlog refinement session. Now let's walk through how we have done it one ceremony at a time. Sprint planning. This meeting used to be one of those sessions for my teams where things felt really messy. A lot of guesswork, a lot of debate. But when I introduced tools like Atlassian AI and GitHub Copilot with my teams, things immediately shifted. We started getting suggestions based on past sprints, stories, estimates, even effort patterns. It helped my teams plan with more clarity. We weren't starting from scratch anymore. This time we had context. The result? Faster, more confident sprint planning process with fewer surprises and more alignment between story complexity and team capacity. So you see, AI didn't replace our judgment. It simply gave us a smarter starting point. With my teams, during the sprint review meeting, stakeholder feedback has always been extremely valuable. But honestly, it was often all over the place and messed up. When we started using AI during our sprint review meetings, things changed for us. It helped us consolidate feedback into themes. So we weren't reacting to the loudest noise in the room, we were now seeing the bigger picture. It mapped features to OKRs, which made it easier to show how what we were building tied back to our business goals. And the best part? We were able to close the loop faster. No more sitting on feedback till the next quarter. We moved from feedback chaos to real-time clarity. And that's how we started building real trust with our stakeholders. Backlog grooming or product backlog refinement sessions. These used to be a real-time sync with my teams, especially when stories were vague or dependencies surfaced quite late in the process. When we brought in AI, like ChatGPT integrated with Jira, it started flagging inconsistencies, suggesting test cases, and even highlighting dependency risk before they hit us in the middle of the sprint. The impact was clear. Our grooming effort time dropped. Our DOR, definition of ready, became stronger. And those mid-sprint surprises, they vanished for good. So for us, backlog refinement shifted from guesswork to clarity. And that has made all the difference for my teams. Now, let's zoom into daily stand up, or daily in short. Such a simple ceremony, but I swear the one my teams often misunderstood, underutilized, undervalued. Over time, they started slipping into passive updates. Engagement levels dropped, and blockers slipped through the cracks. When we brought in AI tools like Geekbot and StandApply, the shift was immediate. These tools started summarizing updates for us, spotting deviations, and even picking up on sentiment trends. With AI highlighting what's emerging, my teams weren't just reporting tasks anymore. We started to have real conversations about risk before they became issues in our teams. It wasn't what did you do or what did you work on? It changed to here's what AI sees, what do you think? So that's how our stand ups became truly collaborative. Sprint retrospectives, or in short, retro meetings. This retro has always been key for my teams. But sometimes things got stuck. Limited follow up or hidden tensions that no one voiced. When I brought in AI tools like Parabol or Miro, it changed everything for us. AI flagged sentiment trends and suggested improvement items that we didn't notice before. We saw more actions actually getting done and even started trying out AI generated experiments. Our retros moved from just reflection to real transformation. In this slide, I wanted to demonstrate how AI tools are enhancing project management by moving us from reactive to proactive ways of working. Starting on the left, we have automated feedback analyzers. These convert user feedback into sprint-ready insights, removing the guesswork completely. Estimation assistants come next, suggesting story points based on backlog complexity. Then we move to AI-powered risk flags, which detect delayed tasks and overloaded team members before they become blockers or impediments for our teams. In the middle, tools like sentiment analysis tools extract themes from feedback. ChatGPT or GitHub Copilot summarize retrospectives and automate team communication insights. As teams mature, they adopt Jira plus advanced AI plugins that predict sprint success and detect blockers in real time. Finally, on the far right, we have custom AI dashboards that provide real-time visualizations of velocity, burn downs, and accuracy, making insights instantly accessible to everyone. So together, these tools shifted us from reacting to problems to anticipating and preventing them, truly transforming how agile teams operate today. Wondering how we get started using AI in our agile teams? It can feel really overwhelming at first. But the good news is you don't have to overhaul everything. Here are 4 simple steps that help me and my teams begin our AI journey, and I'm happy to share them with you. Step 1. Start small. Pick just one ceremony to experiment with, like retros. It's a place where people are already reflecting and sharing honestly, making it a great entry point. Step 2. Pilot a tool. Try introducing an AI powered tool that fits naturally into that ceremony. Retros, for example, tools like Parabol or Miro AI can surface hidden themes or help spark deeper conversations in your teams. Step 3. Use your own past sprint data to train models. Real-time data adds relevance and context. When the insights come from your own backlog or retro notes, they resonate more with the team. Step 4. The most important. Communicate to your team the why. Explain the why. Be transparent about your intention, whether it is to uncover patterns, reduce manual effort, or make the team's voice more visible or more heard or more louder in the room. Framing it upfront to your team will help reduce the resistance and build a shared sense of curiosity. These small intentional steps can help spark powerful conversations and gradually build confidence in using AI as a teammate and not a threat. Let me introduce a case study of Company Z, a fintech firm spread across Europe and Asia. They were struggling with poor estimations and repeated sprint rollover. Their goal was to improve planning reliability using AI. Let's see in the next slide how they have achieved it. Let's look at how Company C began using AI to solve a common agile challenge, which is unreliable estimations. First, they reviewed data from their last 10 sprints and noticed a recurring mismatch between what was estimated and what was actually being delivered. This created a lot of frustration and naturally affected team morale. Next, they integrated an AI plugin with Jira to dig deeper into story complexity. The AI helped assess patterns across user stories and provided a more data driven lens into effort prediction. To make these insights accessible, they also built dashboards that showed prediction confidence so teams could see how reliable their each and every forecast was in real time. But tools alone were not enough. Change management was key. They ran pilot sprints to test the new setup, held workshops to get buy-in, and addressed concerns transparently, especially around job displacement and data misuse. And the result? Sprint rollover reduced by 40%. Estimations became much more accurate than before. And most importantly, the team's trust in the planning process significantly went up. It improved. This is a beautiful example of how AI, when introduced thoughtfully, can genuinely elevate agile maturity in agile teams. I'm sure many of you are already thinking how to bring AI into your team. And I know it can feel really overwhelming at first. But trust me, it doesn't have to be. Here is a simple 4-step flow to help you adopt AI responsibly and practically. Step 1: Educate. Start by building awareness. Share examples of how AI is already supporting Agile, whether it is summarizing retros or predicting sprint risk. It's about getting the team comfortable with what all is possible with AI. Step 2: Experiment. Run pilots. Pick just one agile ritual and try integrating a simple AI tool over there. Maybe use an AI feedback analyzer during retros or an estimation assistant in sprint planning. Step 3: Evaluate. Don't just go ahead and deploy. Pause and reflect. Gather feedback from the team. Look at what worked and what did not. Make refinements before you scale up. Step 4: Expand. Once you see consistent value, roll it out to more teams or more ceremonies. That's how you create responsible, scalable AI adoption step by step and not all at once. This flow keeps the implementation grounded, iterative, and aligned with Agile values. Keep in mind, do it ethically, ensure transparency. Never compromise privacy. Always keep humans in the decision loop. AI supports, it does not dictate. These are 3 tips I always share with my teams when we start bringing AI into our agile practices. They may seem trivial, but they have made a big difference in how smoothly and responsibly we adopt AI. First, human oversight. In my teams, we treat AI as a support system, not a decision maker. It helps us spot patterns or save time, but the final call lies with us. Keeping that balance has helped build confidence in using AI and not dependency on AI. Second, data privacy. We are always mindful of the data that we are using, especially when working with tools that analyze retro notes or tickets. Whether it's internal feedback or customer insights, respecting privacy and setting clear boundaries upfront has been key. Third, transparency. I always make it a point to explain to my teams how AI is arriving at these suggestions or at these responses. For example, if it's surfacing themes from past sprints, I walk them through that logic. When people understand the how, they are much more open to the what behind it. These tips have helped me and my teams build trust, stay grounded, and get real value out of our AI experiments without losing the human touch. Whenever we talk about introducing AI into our agile teams, the first instinct is to jump into tools and solutions. But I always tell my teams, take a step back. Ask yourself this question: are we truly ready for AI? This slide captures the 4 pillars we use to reflect on our readiness. First, agile practices. You can't automate or enhance what isn't already working. If ceremonies are inconsistent or roles are unclear, AI will only amplify the chaos and will not solve any problem for your teams. Second, data maturity. Over the years, I have noticed that teams who treat data casually struggle the most when it comes to AI adoption. Real-time access, structured historical records, and clean integration between tools are just some of the basics that make AI outputs meaningful. Third, the third pillar is tooling and culture. Are we using tools like Jira, Confluence, or Azure DevOps in a structured way? More importantly, do team members feel confident navigating data? Are they open to embracing tech that might shift the way they are currently working today? I often bring this question up in our sprint retros just to sense my team's comfort levels. And finally, AI awareness and governance. This is where leadership mindset and psychological safety comes into play. Can we experiment without fear of failing? Are our ethical boundaries laid out clearly? Lots to think about, isn't it? So, this readiness assessment isn't about scoring the teams or grading the teams. No, it's about helping them build the right foundation so that when AI enters the room, it becomes a partner, our ally, our friend, and not a problem or a threat or an enemy. Now, once teams are ready, the conversation shifts from can we adopt AI to how do we adopt it responsibly? And for me, this is where it gets real. I often tell my teams AI is not just a tool, it is a team member. It is your team member that doesn't eat lunch with you. So you need to know what AI does, why it does it, and where that AI might go wrong. So that's why this checklist is built on 5 foundational principles. First, policy and ownership. It's amazing how many teams use AI tools without a clear usage policy or a defined accountability. So for us, this is non negotiable. Second, ethics and compliance. Before any tool is rolled out, we ask ourselves, is it inclusive? Is it respecting the data of our users and teams? Is it GDPR compliant? By the way, GDPR is a data privacy law that ensures personal data is being collected and used and stored responsibly with user consent and transparency. Coming back. Third, human oversight, a principle I am the most passionate about. I always remind my teams AI is here to assist us, not replace human judgment. Any critical decision should still have a human in the loop. Next, feedback and impact. This is where Agile really shines. Every sprint, every retro is a chance to evaluate if the AI tools are helping or just adding noise. Are they making us faster or just busier? And lastly, culture and empowerment. This is the heart of Agile. Can every voice, technical or not, challenge an AI suggestion? Does the team feel psychologically safe enough to say that this is not helping us? AI is not helping them. So, for me, a responsible AI environment is one where AI enhances the human experience without ever overpowering it. And that's a culture we consciously build. It's time, my dear audience, to do a quick check in. So, if you had to introduce AI into your teams next week, where would you start? Would it be sprint planning or retro or daily or backlog grooming or backlog refinement sessions? Please share your responses in the chat. I would love to read them. In the interest of time, I will move forward to my closing slide, but please keep your responses coming. I would love to read them and see your perspective and reply to you. As we wrap up, I want to leave you with this visual that sums up the journey that we have taken today. Think of agile transformation with AI as the metamorphosis of a butterfly. We all begin in the current agile state, working really hard, but often limited by human bandwidth, intuition, and manual decisions. Like the caterpillar, we are all capable but grounded. Then comes the stage to experiment, where we test out small AI driven improvements. Maybe it's an AI plugin in Jira or a sentiment analysis tool during retros. These are like the first threads of the cocoon forming, quiet, subtle, but really powerful. As feedback starts becoming more meaningful and faster through AI, we start to enhance feedback. Retrospectives start gaining depth. Sprint reviews start revealing trends, and that's where the real transformation truly begins. From there, we move to improved planning. AI helps us plan better by projecting velocity, highlighting risk early, and suggesting adjustments. We are now mid cocoon evolving. But a crucial stage in this journey is ethical implementation. Without trust, clarity, and consent, AI becomes a burden. This stage ensures we emerge with wings, keeping our use of AI transparent and human centric. And finally, we reach AI powered Agile, where our teams are optimized, efficient, and operating with augmented intelligence. Like this butterfly, we are still agile, but now we can soar, fly higher. This transformation isn't instant, but trust me, it is absolutely possible. Out of curiosity, I wanted to pause here and hear from you. What excites you, or maybe even concerns you about using AI in your agile teams? So, again, drop your thoughts in the chat, audience. I would love to hear them, read them, reply to them. And now I'm moving to my final slide in the interest of time. And that, my lovely audience, brings us to the end of today's session. Thank you, thank you, thank you so much for joining me today and for being such a thoughtful audience. I hope this session has given you a fresh perspective on how AI can meaningfully support agile teams. Please scan the QR code on the screen and connect with me on LinkedIn. Cheers. See you. Bye bye.
Excellent session, Madhurai. It's a highly impactful session. You touched upon multiple aspects. One is on responsible AI adoption, which is very important, and the checklist part, which we have covered, right? And the intuition versus data, and on the implementation tips of how we have to implement and the readiness of it. assessments. I believe this comes out when you have implemented something end to end at such a larger scale. It's a great session. There are
Thank you.
reflections in the chat. Yeah, there is a point. Probably there is a question. Just give me a second. So, there are questions. One is which AI tool from Ashwini, but which AI tool you use to amplify all agile and mapping OKRs?
Uh, to be honest, there are so many, but it also depends on what you are currently using. So there are many tools that are out there in the market doing this for you, but it depends on which project management software you are using and whether they are integratable or not. So I need a little bit of more context into what kind of tools you are using, and then I can give a better response to your question. But outcome based model, I think for now, just try to explore things using Azure DevOps. It really has a lot of features. If not, again, you can connect with me on LinkedIn, or maybe we can, separately discuss in depth about how, things are functioning at your side in your project that you're working. So, yeah.
Great, thank you. And from Hiran Pandya, there is a message that would you like to start AI with retrospectives as my team sprint is coming to an end next week, then go to sprint planning stage.
Yeah, it's a wonderful idea to start with retros because, that's the place your team is anyhow reflecting, right? So that's the best place to introduce some AI, do, sentiment analysis, have deeper conversations, Parabol, Miro, so many tools are out there. And even, without going to tools, there are so many retro templates out there on LinkedIn. I have seen so many. There is a collection of retro templates by Chris Stone. He's from England, and he keeps publishing his retro templates for free on LinkedIn. So you can take a look at that, and those are pretty good. But yeah, coming to AI usage, I think retros is the best place to start with because your teams are already, reflecting on what went well, what didn't go well, what action items, so on and so forth. So yeah.
Absolutely. Team, anyone else, participants, you have any questions, you can raise your hand, put on chat so that I can unmute you. I think this is a great opportunity to discuss. Yeah, I think Sukanti, let's just give me a second. Okay. Sukanti, you can unmute yourself.
Yeah. Hi, Madhuri.
Hello.
Thank you for the very structured usage how AI brings us to us. Of late, I have been exploring AI in my Jira tool. How to
Okay.
like we can drive insights from our uh, like backlog items, and like whenever we complete our sprint, so it gives us insight. So from there, now recently we started having a revo chat, so if I want some reports, I'm able to get it from there. So that is how like I've
Nice.
started exploring
Very
now.
nice.
So now I think like usually I use Copilot because that is allowed in our organization. So when I
Okay.
put out the data of what the
Hmm.
team has done next, and if it's able to give me some bottlenecks out of it, or impediment, or how can I solve, whether any kind, like what should this flag it out as, flag out the dependency as. Now this so I found like lot of not lot of, but probably a little more hallucination around there. So how do you deal with that? Or no, you just oversight those other things and then keep only to what your inputs are. How do we manage that?
Yes, honestly, I can relate with what you said. So, hallucinating, see, AI is not a human being, so it doesn't have the God gifted brain like us. So, it does tend to hallucinate a little bit. But the key to keep those hallucinations at bay is the way you are prompting the AI. Prompt engineering. There are several courses on prompt engineering. How much ever you feed the AI, it
Mm,
will carve out your suggestions based on that. So, for that, there's one point I mentioned. Try to train that AI model from your sprint data, from your team sprint data, not from the Google internet sprint
mm,
data.
mm,
Only
right.
then it will understand your team's behavior, patterns, and everything and give suggestions. Having said that, till now, AI models are not 100% accurate. Even in my teams as well, in certain places, we have noticed that, yeah, AI has given a bad suggestion. I'm not eliminating it, but it has helped us a lot as well. We have been able to deliver faster, and our relationship with stakeholders has significantly improved, all because of our better delivery and faster delivery and so on. So, yeah.
Okay, one more question.
Yeah.
Did your team use for a DOR, DOD and acceptance criteria? Because I have seen my team struggle to put out acceptance criteria. Uh, because specifically where BAs are not available, we have other
Hmm.
product owners, and the story being on a very high level. And when we help them put out, we have a DOR and DOD in place with the team collaboration. But when it comes to the acceptance criteria, I recently came across one tool from the internet only, and I
Yeah.
tried to use it. It There was
Hmm.
a like page. Actually, I was very happy that I was able to get more out of it. But
Yeah.
anything as such which was helpful to you?
Yes, for writing the DoD, DOR, definitely DoD is something that, my teams are constantly evolving. We talk a lot about a DoD, adding new things or maybe, refining our DoD. We do it a lot in our sprint retros, and we take help of AI as well for that. And DOR acceptance criteria, definitely. And even our PO makes use of AI to write better stories, and our BAs are currently having a gala time because most of their work is nowadays done with AI. But again, here also, if we are not feeding properly in and out of how we want, the delivery of a particular user story to come out, we will not get the right output. For example, test cases. If I don't tell the AI which are the areas, on a high level I want to run test in, it will not be able to give me the all the test cases. If I don't feed it the system architecture in the first place, how will it know the places where things might go wrong? And if it doesn't know where the things will go wrong, it will not be able to give the test cases. So again, the way we feed the data. Again, some places we cannot use certain tools because they are outside the organization guidelines. We cannot share the architecture diagram and all of those, internal technical details outside. So we have to use something that is internal, but that again cannot use, it is not that intelligent enough. So many things come into play. But in short, the more you are able to train your AI with your data, with your system architecture and everything, the better suggestions it's going to give you. The more complete answers it will give you.
Yeah, many organizations are training their own small language models to
Yes,
learn their
absolutely.
systems because they don't want their data to go out and
Yes.
data
Yeah.
privacy, the one which
Yeah.
you
Data
covered.
privacy. Absolutely. Absolutely. I 100% agree with you.
Great session, Madhuri. In the interest of time, there are still few messages I have to ignore now. Please don't mind. Since we have to
Yeah.
continue with the next session, right? And as there is a small token of appreciation from our end, I just want to share it. Stay tuned, team. We have the next speaker too, Sudhendra. So just a second.
Look up the camera after that. Just for a group picture.
Yeah, just a second. It's more fun. Yes.
Thank you.